hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Hey, we just gonna get right to the point. We're gonna cut to the chase. No intros, no none of that. Even though I did go see Usher. I went to see Usher this week. Actually, yesterday I went to see
nice.
Usher. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Did his thing,
This
man.
is still your girl, huh?
Yeah, I just ain't that Trey Songz.
Oh, that is Trey Songz. You know what?
Oh, geez, man, you can't do that. Man.
Well, he is stealing people girls, though.
Yeah, he was trying to do it. He was trying to do it last night. Man. They wouldn't let it happen though, man. He put on a good show, man.
Yeah.
Whatever age he is, the type of energy he got, rolling around in skates, running up and down through the crowd and everything. He got a whole lot of energy. Really good show. I'll probably talk about it later if we get to it. I really want to get right to it. First week of the season for some people. Do your thing, keep going, push through. And we'll kind of probably get onto that stuff on the backside of it all too. We are joined. We got a guest today. Right? Look at me trying to sound all sophisticated. You know what I mean? But we are joined by a guest today, and we're gonna get into who he is, where he's from, and why he's here. Right. So first off, Cody, that's kind of how I know you. What's your full name?
My name's Cody Osgood.
Yeah, where you from, man?
Originally from Indiana. Right now I'm stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. Indiana, like how deep in Indiana country are you from?
Yeah, so the town is called Farmland, Indiana. So
that sounds deep.
Small, yeah, super small town. People be thinking I'm messing them with them. When I tell them the town name, they're like, yeah, no shit, man. Indiana got a bunch of farmland. You know, that's the actual town. But yeah,
that's the name of it, farmland.
Yes, sir. It's a super country place, man.
Yeah, how small is it?
Man, I think there's like 1,200 people, maybe. No stoplights, a couple of stop signs.
Yeah. What's the market?
Do what?
What's the market? Do you know the market? Is it like just a market in there? Is it a Walmart, a Target?
Oh yeah, we don't have nothing like that. The closest Walmart is like 15 minutes away. We got like a pizza joint, a tax place. There's really a bunch of eating places. There really ain't nothing to do there.
Yeah, pizza gonna find his way. One thing about pizza, man, pizza gonna find its way in any damn small town, large city. Like pizza gonna be there, man. When the last time you been home?
Shoot. I don't know, 2 Christmases ago, probably.
Okay. What's your rank? I don't know if I got that. Maybe I did before, but I don't remember it.
I'm a DCC.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then what's your career history?
So I was on a DDG in Norfolk, 12 to 17, transferred to RTC from end of 17 to 21. I served some time on the LSD, and then I was on a DDG just recently, and now I'm at a training command.
What was your rank as when you was RTC?
When I got there, I was an E5. And then I picked up E6 in 2018.
Damn, shit. I was trying to stick to like brass tacks, man. But damn, now I got a question on RDC. Hey, so for the listeners, we're going to be talking about RDC lifestyle, right? But does your, like how significant is that role shift between you being an E5 RDC to you being an E6 RDC? Was that significant?
It wasn't too big of a significant change, just because inherently what the job is. So normally you have, a chief who's the lead of the push, the first RDC, and then, 2 petty officers on the push, whether that be a first class or two first class, 2 second classes, whatever the flavor is for the petty officers. But you're all doing the same job, essentially. The goal is to train the recruits. So it wasn't too big of a shift from E5 to E6 for me.
You got family, bro?
Yeah. So I'm married, and I have 3 kids. Dual male. My wife's on sea duty right now. She's also she's a PSC.
Damn.
And so you had them at the time that you were RDC?
Yeah. So I have a stepson. He's 10, but he was there with us. And then I had both of my younger children while I was there. Pretty much back. They're like 15 months apart. So. Yeah, super interesting doing the whole dad thing and trying to push boots. It was a challenge.
I'm sure it was, man.
Yeah.
What like?
And so, sorry,
you got
where was your wife stationed when she was there? So you were RDC, or was she?
Yeah, she was an instig. She was at PSD, Great Lake.
Okay.
What was your rank when y'all met?
I
hope I ain't snitching. Tell it. You know what I mean? Like, stop snitching. Like,
he started laughing.
She was my chief, man.
No, it wasn't like that. But we were on the same ship together. But I was when we first met, I was a 3rd class. She was a 1st class. But we didn't start, dating until I had made 2nd. And she had gone through her, divorce with her ex-husband and whatnot. So,
yeah, is she a chief too?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, and then so what's that dynamic, man? 2 chiefs in the same house, man. Do y'all ever bring work home?
I mean, we do 2 different jobs. So, I mean, she don't understand damage control, and I don't think anybody that's really not a damage controlman understands the damage control, life and aspect. Even though everybody got to get the quals,
Yeah, we still don't understand it.
I always say, everybody want to be a damage controlman until it's time to do damage control stuff, and then they run the other way. But yeah, we don't. Before, we did bring a lot of work home and kind of just unload on each other, and it really raised our stress levels. So we had to sit down and have an honest conversation about, when you walk in the front door, you're not a chief anymore. However, it is kind of a benefit to have another chief living in the house. If I need that, sanity check or that advice, I can always ask her, hey, how would you handle this situation? Or how would you do this? Or whatever the case is, and she can do the same to me. Yeah.
You got dogs?
I do.
Yeah. Natural. That was a natural flow question right there. I can hear they like, hey, what's up? Hey, so since you are a chief and we are going through this first week of the season and stuff like that, how is it at the command you at now versus, when you was on the ship?
So I recently checked into a new command. I got there in July. So I'm still trying to figure out, kind of the command thing, get my quals, and meeting the mess myself. But it's a night and day difference between, the ship, and the shore duty training command aspect.
Yeah, I put it out on one of our episodes here. We went through the season. I had just checked into my ship in like June or July too. And we went through the season last year. And like at the end of the season, after the pinning ceremony, everybody was like going out to eat and like do all they, have fun as like groups that knew each other. And me, I was getting back like in the like lift or something and going back to the base to my barracks room and shit. As like people were like, hey bro, I'm going to your house. Where you going? Like right in front of me. And I'm like, I'm going back. I'm cold, lonely. I was like cold and lonely, man. I did contribute a lot, what I was able to give to that season, like in video, audio, like kind of what I do for them. And just as I started growing relationships with all of those people, I transferred. Like just as like it started to like bloom, like I had to go. But I do know that feeling of being brand new to the mess, during the season, just trying to, hey, whatever I could do. Y'all wasn't here when y'all put out the committees, but whatever I could do, just let me know. I'll do it. And, just trying to be all in. Hey, man, we haven't done this in a while. And it's like sometimes we reserve it for like if we talk to like a fleet master chief or a force master chief or something like that. But I want to ask the simple question of like, what made you join the military?
So I had a twin brother, and it's a small town, right? My parents kind of, I could tell they was kind of struggling, financially. I also have, a little brother too. So there was three of us, and he always wanted to do the college thing and get an education. And I was kind of on the fence. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I might pursue like criminal justice or something, be a cop or something like that. But the Navy recruiter came and talked to, one of my classes, and I went and talked to him, and, I was kind of hooked from there, opportunity to, serve my country and do something better with my life, get out of the small town and, see the world. But I mean, that's kind of why I joined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Did you already know that you was doing 20, like from the day you joined?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
So, I was dead set on doing the 4 years and getting out. I didn't have very good leadership at all in my first ship, and nobody was really there to tell me or point me in the right direction. Set me up for success in the Navy or outside the Navy. So I was kind of just figuring it out myself. And I was going to get out, and I re-enlisted at like 3 years and 9 months because I was scared to get out because I didn't have a plan and didn't know what I wanted to do. So, yeah.
And when did that tide turn? Like, when did it go from being scared to being committed, like all in?
So, I don't know. I would say just recently, actually. So I also, do civilian firefighting. So I have all those qualifications to do all that stuff. I've went through some adversity this last year, and with my brother passing away, I had a sailor that passed away as well. And I thought, maybe I just need to hang it up and get a new career and find a different path. But there's some guys in the mess, and my wife really kind of just, told me like, you're 30 years old now. You have 8 years left. Nowhere else is somebody going to pay you for the rest of your life. After you get done doing that job. So it took a lot of self-reflection for me to make the decision to stay Navy. I just re-enlisted in May of this year. So up to that point, it took me a good little bit to make the decision.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, I'm sorry for your losses, man. I think it's kind of crazy how, like, just, when you do have those losses, like any conversation could be like a pathway to those things coming up in your brain and those things coming up in your heart. So I'm really sorry for both of them. They both big losses, a sibling and your brother, twin brother, and a sailor, one of your sailors, man. I have not yet like directly lost like a sailor in my division. The closest I was to it was on my last ship. My division, like they lost one of the sailors that was in the division. He left, like he was on transfer leave when I got there. Like I never met him. And they were, man, it was tough. You know what I mean? Like we pretty much let them go early. And like we try to find a way to whoever wanted to go to the funeral could go to a funeral, all of that. Like I think we even was trying to get them no cost TAD, like all types. We were trying to do everything we could for these sailors. So trust me, man. And I couldn't. If I was his chief and that happened, man, I know, man, I'd be going through it, man.
It's rough. I can tell you it's rough.
Yeah, you
And
lost the seller, right, T?
Yeah, my first year being a chief.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell no. Like, this is crazy. All the stuff that they preached during the season. And I remember just being like, oh, God, like, they are beating a dead horse here. Like, they being overly dramatic. And then it happened like my very first year. And that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah. Like, I can't, like, I love and I, like, completely care about my sellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's from the, like, honestly, like, and I don't want to start preaching early, right? But that's the easiest thing I could do. like, you know what I mean? It's like I sign up to love and care about them. That's the fucking easiest thing I could do. And I could do that first. I could do that when I walk in the door. That's it. Be committed to care about this group of sellers that I'm leading. Then the rest of the stuff come after, like the programs, learning the policies, all that. But I could die on the hill of caring about, you know, my sellers. So I definitely want to get that off the ground and stuff like that. Hey, and while I'm preaching, I had something else I wanted to say, right? And I was reading a book and it inspired me. This ain't even the right time to bring it up, but it inspired me, yo. And it's this: stop thinking people aren't ready for the changes that you want to make. They probably aren't. That's why they call them changes, right? So that I did want to bring that up because it was a book that inspired me.
I need you to send me that quote because I need to take that to work.
Well, just listen to the pod. Listen to the next episode and write it down. And that didn't come from the book, but the inspiration came from the book. Because this dude, man, like I'm reading it now. It's good. It's a Navy captain. He's a sub guy, and he goes to a ship. He think he gonna go to one ship, but he don't. He go to another ship like last minute, and they are like he called it like leader follower relationship. Like all of the sellers, everybody from the department heads down are like in this whole follower kind of state of mind where they kind of checking out with the XO in a way that is not like to his liking, the way they checking out to the XO. The chiefs feel like they don't have no power. The junior sellers, they go to all hands call, right? And this like a quick example. As he's observing before he takes command, he go to all hands calls. Junior sellers there, and they can't hear the CO. Like he stand back to where they can't hear the CO. And he asked them, he like, hey, like, can y'all like hear it? They like, nah, but it don't matter anyway. Whatever he say, if it's important, our chief's just gonna tell us at quarters, right? And I've seen that plenty times in the Navy. Like he wrote this book, like this from like 1999 or something. But I've seen that even later, you know. And he was talking about like in his eyes that felt crazy because then it's like, what's the purpose of having everybody out there if it's not even like what's getting put out ain't even connecting with them? You know what I mean? But I can't wait till I finish. That his other like point that he made on this thing was like that we don't judge leaders like in the Navy, they judge leaders for the time that they at the command. And that's it. Like they judge you for the time you're there. They don't judge like the impact that you left or none of that shit. You know, he was talking about how he believes like the value in a leader is like them not being missed, you know, and I don't mean like emotionally missed, but like in the workplace, like you don't feel their loss because they like created good enough leaders that when they leave, everything's still booming, you know, but all of that comes with empowerment, you know, but then the way that he broke down empowerment is crazy. Yo, and Cody, like, this shit is crazy. The way he was breaking down empowerment, it was like, we look at empowerment like something that we give to people, right? So it's like chiefs, I empower you, you're my seller, I empower you. Like we gotta give it to them when it should be something that they have, like they are empowered. Like we shouldn't be the ones. It's crazy, yo. I can't, and this ain't even like this the beginning of the book. You know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, he just gonna repeat. I don't know yet, man. So if you listen to the pod, I'm sorry. But 9 times out of 10, he gonna repeat the same concepts throughout the book. I hope not, because this shit's so far so good. Hey, Cody, so let's get into it, man. Let's go day one RDC. No, let's start here. Hey, for the listeners, I'm gonna try my best to keep this at a really good flow. As far as from start to finish. So you wanted to be an RDC?
Not really, no.
Okay.
But that really wasn't it wasn't an aspiration of mine. Like I never joined the Navy. Was like, damn, I want to be like my RDC. That wasn't me. I joined the Navy to be a damage controlman, and that's what I wanted to do all the time. I didn't want to do anything else. But shore duty came up, and me and my wife were dating at the time. It was kind of at a crossroads. Do we keep the thing going? Do we not? And she got selected for orders to PSD Great Lakes. So, I called, the detailer. It was like, hey, I want to go to DCA school. And they're like, yeah, we don't have any billets, which unbeknownst to me, right? I'm pretty sure if you call your detailer and tell them you want to go anywhere in the Great Lakes area, they're just going to tell you that they don't have those orders available there. So then you'll pick RDC. But yeah, that's how it kind of happened. I was trying to get orders up there and he kept saying, yeah, we ain't got that, ain't got that, ain't got that. So I ended up going and picking RDC orders. And about 15 minutes later, I'm getting a phone call from the special programs detailer with a screening package the next day. So no desire about that.
I know. They were like, got him.
RDC, let's get him. Let's get him while it's hot. Hey, so you get RDC orders. And then, just walk me through. I'm assuming the first step of all this is you going to RDC school. It's nothing significant before then, is it?
Not really. You got to go to instructor school to get the 805 Alpha NEC, but there's nothing really that has to happen before you check into your class for RDCC school.
Yeah. And how's that? I saw the video. They was working the hell out. He's working the hell out one of them girls, man. So how's that? How's C school?
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting C school at all. I wasn't expecting it to be that difficult. I was pretty in shape. I think I was 23 or 24 at the time. So I was a young cat. I could do all the push-ups, all the sit-ups, and work out. Like monster. So I wasn't really expecting it to be anything. And I was definitely wrong. Them cats can work out. But it's by far the hardest school I've ever done in the Navy. It's mentally exhausting. It's physically exhausting. The hours are long on some days. And there's times where you're not going to get to see the wife and kids because they're in bed by the time you get home. And you're figuring out what you're going to eat for dinner and waking up at, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and going and doing it all over again.
Was it harder than the chief season?
Absolutely. 100%.
Dang. This is C school?
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit. It's like some junior seller, y'all went through SEER. I know the chief season ain't harder than fucking SEER. I'm sure it's harder than the chief season. You know what I mean? What was so outside of the toll that it has on how your hours and outside of the physical aspect of it as far as PT, what else is going on? It's not no secrets, right? Is it any secrets to RDC school?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Unless you've experienced it, you don't really know what it entails. And there's really not a whole lot of us out here. We're all kind of spread out and people don't really make it known that you was pushing boots unless you was with them. Then you would know that, that person, was pushing boots with me. But
so what's what else does the school entail? What you learning in there?
So the first week is all drill. So they're teaching you, the drill practical and kind of how to march the division and how to set the division up in formation. And that's the first week of school. The second week, if I remember correctly, is all admin, hard guard documentation, sick slips. Muster reports, all of the recruit admin. You're learning that in the second week. The third week is compartment readiness. So how to walk a house, how to set things up inside your compartment and folding clothes in the racks. All of those different things that you have to do in a compartment. And the fourth week is a leadership week where they're teaching you leadership topics.
Yeah, and then the other 9 weeks, you what is it, blue?
Yeah, so you get a blue rope. So RDCs that have graduated school, they get the red rope. If you're in a student status, you get a blue rope. But the other 9 weeks is really called shadow phase. So you're out there with the division, and learning how to be an RDC.
Yeah, and is that like, I'm assuming that's easier than the first 4 weeks. Or are you still getting beat throughout the 9 weeks that you're blue rope?
Yeah, so you still got to go to C School PT Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the 9 weeks. So you'll come back, do the PT, and then you'll go back with your shadow division and do whatever they're doing the rest of the day and night, really.
Yeah. Do they ever evaluate, like, and Tish, you could jump in whenever you want. I just got all these questions. So do they ever evaluate, like, if you being like hardcore enough? Like, do they ever like evaluate your projection as a RDC at all? Like,
so there's not really a metric on that. I mean, there is some people where, they be doing a little bit too much. I'm like, hey, bro, you gotta chill out. Like, you can't be saying that kind of shit to them, right? Like, that's demoralizing. Like, you can't be saying that stuff. But there's not a metric on how, I guess, hardcore you are.
Okay, so nobody ever got told, like, yo, man, you too soft, man. Like, you ain't gonna make it through. Okay. Okay.
They just know to pair them with somebody that's hard, I guess.
Yeah, get them with, yeah. So I remember all three of my RDCs, like, vividly.
Me too.
But I only remember the name of one of them. He was Petty Officer Root. And I remember his name because he made an impact. He was like the cookie cutter perception that we have of a RDC, like hard talking motherfucker. It was crazy. Like, I told it on the pod twice already. Like, he slapped my canteen out my head, man. It traveled halfway down the compartment, man. You know what I mean? Because I guess I wasn't supposed to be drinking at the time. Like, I didn't know. You know what I mean? And this was like week 7 or some shit. This was like late in the season, when shit was relaxed. It wasn't even like they was getting their ass no more. Like, shit was relaxed. Like, he slapped that shit like right out my head. It was crazy, man. He's like, you're not supposed to be drinking that shit. Then I had to pick it up and all that. Hey, so what's some of the common? Like I said, Tish, whenever you want, man. Now I got a whole bunch of questions. I kind of was prepping for this conversation. So, what's some of the common misconceptions of RDC that you think?
So some of the things, and I've had some people where I thought, you probably be good up there, as an RDC. And everything I hear is always, well, I can't do that. The working hours are too long. I can't do that because, somebody say something to me, I'm going to want to fight them or whatever the case is. The working hours are long if you make them long. So I revved the tap from 6 to 22, my first 2 pushes, which I don't recommend because I slept for 27 hours after that. But I mean, the lead RDC makes the working hours. So there's certain times where you have to have 2 people with the division at all times. But if there's time to get off and be with the family or whatever, that time is given. It's a shore duty. Like every other shore duty, if you got some stuff going on, the time is afforded for you to go do that stuff. You just have to speak up. But yeah, every fleet sailor that's never done a tour always says, yeah, the working hours are too long and I can never do that because of the working hours. Well, it's advertised 6 to 22, but I didn't ever work 6 to 22 except for my first 2 pushes.
Yeah, that's what we hear. That want to fight thing, I think, is like an excuse. Cause like, people, you could run across somebody that do something to you or say something to you, like on a regular duty station. You know what I mean? And like, if you're like, if your first decision is to want to fight them, and you're in the leadership position, you didn't pick the wrong fucking job.
Yeah.
You're not effective at that point. And if a recruit try to fight you, you about to get every single RDC in the building in your compartment because that's just, it's not gonna go well for them. You know, we're not gonna let a recruit punch a sailor in the face and just get away with it. It's just not gonna go down like that.
Yeah.
Did y'all have any fights like that? Not recruit on any, like, maybe two recruits or recruit versus RDC?
So there was some instances. It wasn't in the ship I was in or the barracks I was in, but there was a few recruits that, you know, tried to get froggy with some RDCs and got body slammed. But I mean, the recruit, you know, they put their hands on a petty officer first. So it ain't like, you know, sailors is out here mollywopping recruits. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you hear the stories too, right? Around the compartment or after battle stations or whatever, like such and such is in the drawing room. You know, they box in with their socks or, you know, doing stupid shit like that. I mean, never did I physically see two people try to beat the shit out of each other. Never did I see that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like something like no matter what kind of happens, like if it's recruit to RDC or whatever like that, is going to be like investigated and taken care of properly by all the appropriate parties, right?
Yeah. So normally, right, when something like that happens, RDC will be pulled off push and sent somewhere else, you know, to work on the base until the investigation is complete. And then once it's found unsubstantiated, or if it's found substantiated, then, you know, it'll be dealt with from there.
They got to put that RDC in the cool down period. Like,
right.
Go cool down.
Like, listen, the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
That's crazy, man. Hey, is it like a switch that you, because now you had a new command, right? So jumping back and forth, is it a switch that you kind of develop or feel like you got to turn off now that you're not doing RDC anymore, or is that like not the case?
Yeah, so it's kind of discussed, like, you know, we have a pre-push conference, you know, with the whole training group of RDCs. You kind of get your schedule. Hey, this is the things you're doing during this 2-month time. And then usually the three partners will go to breakfast or, you know, have a chat and kind of decide how the push is going to go. I've been on some pushes where they figure out who's going to be the mean RDC, who's going to be the, you know, kind of the nice guy, and then who's kind of neutral in between. I never really cared for that because, I mean, I don't fit any of those specific roles at all. But I mean, I was just myself, right? I'm a very sarcastic, you know, quiet person, and that just kind of worked for me. I very rarely yelled, which is kind of surprising. You know, coming from RDC duty, I didn't yell hardly ever. If I was yelling, they knew that there was an issue and they fucked something up.
Yeah. Hey, so another little jump around. So when I got to my last ship, it was an issue with racks, right? Like through most of my like junior sailors, like you know, like soon as I got there, it was like this whole effort to like beautify the engine, the EM berthing area because it was bad. You know what I mean? Like to the point we had to strip them. We had to do all types of shit. Hey, shout out to y'all. What up, y'all? Yeah, y'all remember this. Now my question is this though. Who do I blame for that? Like, so you know, the misconception or the general thought process, you know, for somebody like me, senior chief, been in for a little bit, is like, hey, like most of y'all just came from boot camp, you know, and I know like that happens with uniforms too. And it's like, what do you think? I mean, maybe this is an opinion-based question. Where do you think the kind of disconnect happens from like everything you learn in boot camp to get into your first ship in the fleet? And it's like some of these sailors, not all of y'all, but some of these sailors seem like they just dropped all of that knowledge that they just got out of boot camp.
Yeah, I mean, people have asked this question before, you know, and it's usually like a joke, like, I use that RTC, use RDC, like you're the problem, you know, with the sailors today and this and that. But I mean, I saw firsthand, right? You know, InStick was across the street, DCA school, OSs, QMs, undesignated. You know, there's a bunch of sailors that go over there to the recession schools. And I refused to go there on a Friday. because just the sheer amount of uniform issues or, customs and courtesies, or not saluting officers, just walking around on the base of the necks or whatever the case is. And I said the same thing, like, you jokers just came from boot camp 6 weeks ago where I know you was taught, basic military customs and courtesies. You was taught how to wear your NWs properly. I know that we told you not to wear your headphones in uniform walking down the street. So in my opinion, and I don't want to throw no shade on the A school instructors because I know they got a tough gig too. But it's the accountability piece. If you got a student sitting in your class, right, and they're, not addressing you appropriately, using last names or whatever the case is, I've seen it before. That's your time to correct it on the spot. So when they go to the ship, that you're continuing the tone that was set in boot camp. And at the ship level, if it gets lost there, I mean, that's the leadership of the division on the ship's, fault, and they have to hold themselves accountable for that. But every recruit I put in the Navy, I didn't put trash in the fleet. We'll just say that everybody that graduated from my divisions was ready to graduate and ready to go be a sailor.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm assuming that y'all think about, it's funny because I'm thinking about two things. I'm thinking about one of your old sailors probably listening to the pod right now. But I'm assuming that the goal is for like a real pure mindset kind of reset shift and not like just going through the motions kind of vibe, right? Because I could see like in myself as a sailor, going through the motions would mean I'm gonna do all of this shit, and then as soon as boot camp is over, I'm going to revert back to my old ways. The mindset shift would change that for me. So I was putting V's in my rack on my last ship as a chief. Well, the little creases. I was putting them creases in my rack on my last ship as a chief. Not to like gloat or nothing like that, but that like it did that for me. Like that's how a rack is supposed to be made. And I'm guessing that's the goal, right? The goal is to tap into like that, like the actual sailor, right?
Yeah. So
or the person.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of boot camp is to, I guess strip them of our identity, for lack of a better term, take away that individuality and make them into a team, and ultimately, a sailor, to send to the fleet and be a cohesive unit with all the rest of us. But I mean, some people just do play the game and do the things they need to do and slide by, and go to the fleet. And now they're, a problem that I have to deal with now.
Yeah. So do y'all ever? Oh, go ahead. Oh, hold on, Teach, real quick. Do y'all ever see that like in real time and like have like those, like for instance, you're going through the season, you might see it like a chief select that might need more attention because it seems like they're not getting it, and for like the critic that's like wondering what getting it means, right? That's where they talk about making them evil. Like that, no, that's not what we mean by getting it. All right, you heard him say getting it, but he didn't explain it. Like that's not what we mean by getting it. We talk about some of the core concepts of the community aspect, right? The team aspect. Y'all ever like be like, hey, this recruit here, we need to kind of tap into because they're not getting it, and they might need some extra attention. Not like to where it's a light shine at them, but just some extra attention. You ever had to do that to where you really trying to convert them?
Yeah. So I mean, my second push really comes to mind. I had a guy that just really didn't get the picture at all. Right? He was not very good. We gave him some one-on-one mentorship. They have section leaders as well. Usually a pretty good recruit in the division. He was bunkmates with the section leader, and he just wasn't getting it, and he wasn't really taking the process seriously. Joking around, not really following the rules that we had set. So I made him live out of his Seabag, and that's probably wrong of me. I probably shouldn't have done that, and in hindsight, I would never do that. But I was a second class, But as a chief, I would never make somebody do that. But I made him pack his shit.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I made him pack his shit, his whole rack, and I made him put it in his Seabag. and then roll up his bedroll every morning, and he would strap that shit to his backpack, and he would walk around with his bedroll on his backpack, Seabag packed. And he was essentially not living in the compartment. He was a part of the division, but he essentially wasn't living there. And it only took him about 2 days to kind of get with the program. But I kind of leveraged the other recruits in my division too, because there's three RDCs, right? And we had all kind of had the conversation with him, and he still wasn't picking it up. So we kind of leveraged the peer pressure to kind of put him in the right direction. And that's kind of where it clicked for me. Like, peer pressure is a very good motivator.
Yeah. Hey, T, sorry again. Was that a pure thought of yours, or was that like something that like has been done before?
No, I mean, that was like a collective between myself and another guy. We were kind of figuring out like how we're going to deal with this guy that just won't get it. And if he wants to live here, I mean, then he'll get his shit together and he can move back in. To his rack and be a part of the team. Otherwise, you're just on the outskirts as an individual. And until you strip yourself of that individuality, you can't be a part of the team. He figured it out.
That sounds like some Beowulf type shit.
Right.
So where did he live?
I mean, he slept in the compartment. But we would just make him, strip his rack, take all of his linens off his rack, and pack his shit every day.
And walk around with it.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't walk around with his Seabag. So they got the hooks, the front and the back hooks on their bunks. We would just make him hang his Seabag on the back hook, and then he would just have his backpack join on with the Seabag with his bedroll strapped to it, and he would just walk around like that.
And did he get it? Was it productive? Like at the end of it all, did he get it? Did he come through?
Yeah, he actually thanked us at the end of boot camp. Because he struggled with kind of in life and in high school. He came from a broken home. He really didn't have any structure in his life, so that's why he joined the military. But it just took him a lot longer than everybody else to kind of conform and be a part of the division.
Yeah.
All right, Teach, my bad.
No, that was pretty much part of my question. I was just going to ask, like, what types of personalities are the ones that are kind of hard to get it, and for it to click, and how do you round that corner? So that's pretty much what you just explained. Like, you gave an example of something that you guys did to get them around that corner.
Hard to get it. Recruits that are hard to get, like boot camp, nukes, 100%. And I ain't throwing no shade. This is just from my observation. They are so damn smart at taking a test, but when it comes to applying common sense shit, they ain't got it. Yeah, they ain't got it.
They're overthinking.
They ain't got it.
So you spoke on RTC earlier, and I had that as one of my questions. The question was, how well do you all communicate with RTC? Y'all got like a good relationship, or is it beef?
I mean, you mean like instructors?
Yeah, the instructors. How well do y'all communicate?
And I don't know. Like, I didn't ever have a problem with any instructors. Some of those people were people that fell out of school, for medical reasons or whatever the case may be. So they're salty. They're bitter about the fact that they don't have a rope. I didn't ever have an issue with any of the instructors, but there is, a clear divide, or at least when I was there was a clear divide between like, you're an instructor, I'm an RDC. Like it was a clear divide. And I'm not really too sure why that was, because we're all there to do very similar things, train recruits to be basically trained sailors. It's all kind of the same mission. Just in different capacities.
Yeah, that's funny. The vengeful instructor that didn't get a rope. I'm gonna take it out on all fucking RDCs from now until eternity. like that's just crazy to me, man.
But realistically, they do got a lot of power because we need them to stamp their hard cards so they can go to battle stations. So they can be like, hey, your guy sucks. he got to come back. And it just makes our life even more difficult because now that guy got to make up firefighting or make up Marlin Spike or live fire, whatever it is. It just makes it more difficult for us because we have to make sure that recruit gets all of their training to move on to battle stations.
Yeah. So the first night of boot camp, right? When you first get there and, it's the culture shock. Did you ever do that as a RDC? And if so, like, how was it? Was it like a deja vu moment? And I know you said you don't yell. Is that one of the moments that you yelled? And what was your perspective of that?
Yeah, so I never did night of arrivals. I did a different recruit training period, or the whole jobs in the middle of our second year up there. We do RTPs where we go somewhere else on the base and do a job. Night of arrivals, Pearl Harbor, staff, or somewhere else. I was a RDCC school instructor for my RTP, but I never did that. But I mean, being back up there, it was only, 5.5 years since I had graduated boot camp. So, I mean, there was a lot of moments where I'm like, yeah, I was just here. I was just doing, that, particular task or evolution or whatever the case is. So there was a lot of moments where I was like, yeah, I remember doing this very vividly.
Yeah, because you were like one command removed, right? You just went to see and then went right back.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got a question from a listener. The question is, this is from a listener. I'm not going to say the listener's name, but the question is, how do you feel about recruiters receiving sellers with a 10 ASVAB? They try to trap you, man. They try to trap.
That's not really an RDC problem.
Do y'all even see that?
No, when I was there, we weren't accepting people with ASVAB scores below a 30. I mean, I'll get to see.
I mean, do you see what each recruit's ASVAB score was while they're there? You know what it is? Oh, okay.
I know all the scores on their ASVAB.
Got it.
So, yeah. I didn't too much look into their ASVAB score because I really didn't give a shit what they got on their ASVAB. As long as they was able to perform, what we was asking them to do, I was okay with that. I mean, a 10 on the ASVAB, okay, got it. But that doesn't mean that you're unfit to be a sailor. It just means that you got a 10 on the ASVAB.
Yeah, that's how I look at it too. And I was looking at some stuff about an ASVAB, and the ASVAB test is like 198 minutes. So that's roughly 3.5 hours. That's nasty work, y'all. Like I don't even remember. Like I don't remember that. And I know that I was one of the people that they was like, yo, time almost up. So that mean that I took the whole damn 3.5 hours. That's a long, I don't want to do anything for 3.5 hours.
Right.
Like the last Martin Scorsese movie, I damn near had to turn off because it was more than 3.5 hours. You know what I mean? Like 3.5 hours. But to be sitting down, taking a damn test for 3.5 hours is crazy to me. Yo.
That is.
That's sick. Did we take breaks between it? Was it like a lunch break?
That's what I was sitting here thinking. I don't remember. I know there wasn't a lunch period. It may have been like a stand up and breathe or something, but I don't remember there being a break.
Yeah, that's
I damn sure didn't take 3.5 hours to take that test.
Yeah, he knocked it out. He got it done.
This is nonsense.
That's a long time, man. I remember them hit me with like, hey, I think it was on the screen or something. Hey, you got 8 minutes left. I'm like, oh shit, gotta figure this out.
Right. You just start clicking through.
Yeah, I was on the comprehension thing, like where they give you like something, you gotta figure it out type shit. And I was lost. I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, and it finally clicked. Like when they said it was like, you ever watch Saw and Jigsaw? He put you in his shit in the time step. That's how I felt like when they said 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, I finally got it. And it was easy and simple, but it took me all that, man.
Right.
Hey, so one thing I keep seeing, and this might be rumor mill, people talking about the time between pushes. Sometimes it's like a week. You know, when you were there, did you deal with that, or have you heard anything about that recently, like having a week between pushes?
Yeah, so I did experience that. My first push and my second push were 7 days apart. So that was without a dwell waiver. So we were supposed to have 7 days off between a push. If you were gonna go beyond or inside that 7 days, you had to get a waiver signed by the vice admiral at Instick. So I had exactly 7 days off in between my first and second push. So I mean, it does happen around this time is probably when it's going to be prevalent during the summer surge. Everybody graduates high school and wants to go join the military. Right now, depending on what recruiting numbers they ship out, could be an influx of recruits too. Like I have to go back in 8 days to do a push because they're short staffed on RDCs. So yeah, and then right now, manning is an issue at RTC. They don't have enough RDCs to fulfill pushes, so they're looking for fleet sailors to go back and do an IA there for 90 days.
Yeah, and is that they just hit up they just hit us up. They just hit my command up. My man said, hell no, man. Like, they looking for a chief. My man said, hell no, he about to retire. But damn, what was my question?
I said, hell no, too. They said, you going in.
Yeah, they gonna get you. Yeah, they gonna get you. Yeah,
right.
We gotta.
Right.
Hey, so my question for like, as far as that time though, is it like straight time off?
So you got to muster still. So normally you're like, you have a ship or a barracks or whatever you want to call it, right? It's three floors high. There's 6 compartments, or 4 compartments per floor. And you'll go assist the other RDCs, with their push. So walking their house or, delivering some asthma laundry or just doing little stuff around the ship. But I think the latest day I had there when I wasn't on push was probably 12 because we had some training or some, shit to do. So
yeah,
if you're not on push, you're not on push. Go on.
Yeah. Well, since you did just bring up that RDC numbers are low, I want us to talk a little bit about, in Big Navy, here y'all go. Like we about to do something like we don't normally do shit like this, but Big Navy, here y'all go, man. Like, this is us trying to form that partnership. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we might curse a little bit every now and then, y'all, but hey, here it is. Hey, let's talk some incentives real quick and just fact check. Can you fact check them? So for anybody thinking about being RDC, I was looking at some of the incentives. We got Cody here to fact check them. The first one I see here is SDAP, and that's $450 a month. SDAP. So you making more money than the CMC a month. You know what I mean? Like more money than the Command C Chief a month. And then $220 added for clothing allowance.
Yeah, so you'll get it's based upon your graduation date from C school. You'll get $220 every year thereafter on your graduation day from C school.
Yeah, and that's added on to whatever you already getting, right?
Yep.
Tom waived off, and yours, I know you were probably different because of dual mail, but it says Tom waived off following C tour up to 24 months.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I know a guy at the command now that I'm at. He's a mass chief. He was my LCPO of the office, and he waived 2 years off his tour.
Wow. Post-tour choice of coast.
Yeah, that's a real thing. However, though, right, it's not choice of where on that coast. It's choice of coast.
Yeah.
So,
Coast.
if you get the West Coast, it ain't a guarantee you get in San Diego. You might
end up in Lemoore.
You
you may end up in Japan, right? It's just where they fall on the East Coast, whatever they classify that is. That's where you're going to.
I want to go East Coast. They send you ass to Coats Neck, New Jersey.
Right. Right.
Free dry cleaning while actively training.
Yep, that's a real thing. Yeah, and that's. I've even taken my wife's uniforms there, so they don't care as long as it's a uniform. They'll dry clean it with your name, but you only get a certain amount of dry cleanings a month. I don't remember how many it is, but you only get a certain amount.
Opportunity for MTS.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you don't get your MTS there and you aspire to make chief, good luck. Good luck.
It says, and it's not really a fact check thing. This one, it just says advancement to chief, senior chief is close to double the average. So if you go do RDC duty, it's close to double the average. Your percentage.
I've seen that.
That's a real thing.
Now, I don't know. Now I don't know if you don't get the MTS, that might be a problem.
It might be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, my boy didn't get his MTS. He got everything else on the ECP, and he don't have MTS, and he ain't pick up in the last 3 years. So I think there's only one thing holding him back.
Yeah, you can't miss a training opportunity, man. Them MTOs will kill you, yo. That be the thing that gets you. As I always tell people that be like, well, I don't got this, I don't got that, I don't got that. It's like, yo, but did you miss the opportunity? Because if you ain't missed the opportunity, then you probably straight.
Yeah.
And shout out, I talked about him on one of the previous episodes. My guy, he achieved select now. Who remember I talked about him when he was like, yeah, but I don't got this, I don't got that. He achieved select.
Oh, he made it?
Yeah,
nice.
Shout out to him. I know you listen to the pod. Now, I don't know if you listening now because you're going through the season, but shout out to you and good luck through the season. So this
because you were like, yeah, you probably ain't gonna make it.
I ain't say that, Tish. I didn't say that. You know, you fucking it up because like I said, he listened to the pod. Like I said, you remember I said that he didn't have that. I said, yeah. You're right. You don't got that. I said, but you didn't have opportunity. So
okay. Got it.
You was trying to hype him up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's my guy. That was my guy. That was my EM1, man. So that was my guy, man. We put some work in on that shit. It says up to 24 college credits, upper and lower towards your bachelor's.
Yeah, I think when you get MTS, you get some college credits. I don't really remember because I stopped going to college because it just wasn't for me. But yeah, MTS does give you some college credits. I think they're just elective credits. It's not anything that's like, the core classes or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Like those leadership classes and stuff that, probably.
Yeah.
So it's like, it ain't gonna take nothing away. They like, yeah, you still gotta do this college math. You're like,
right.
I push boots though. Like, you're like, we don't care, man. Hey, if I ran into one of your recruits, right, and I asked them about you, and it's probably something you never thought about. What would you want? What would you want, or what do you think they would say?
I mean, I've ran into some of my recruits before. I mean, they all said I was an asshole. I don't think that's true. I was just different than the other partners I had. I was holding them accountable for the actions that they made or didn't make. It wasn't me being an asshole. I'm just gonna hold you accountable for whatever it is. But I mean, I hope that they would say that I inspired them, to either stay Navy or be successful in their life. Because I mean, I tried to do that anyhow. It wasn't just I was an RDC and I'm making you a sailor and I'm trying to push you to stay Navy. That's not me. If the Navy ain't for you, that's cool. But go do something successful for your life and have a plan to do that. And I kind of preached that while I was there because 98% of the people that go through boot camp ain't staying in the Navy. They join to go to college or do their 4 years travel, whatever it is. Very few people join the Navy to, die essentially, right? Everybody in the military has potential of dying, and very few people had that thought process when they raised the right hand and went to the recruiting office. Nobody thinks about that. It's all the incentives the recruiters are selling them, the $25,000 bonus you about to get or the $2,000 bonus you're going to get for the PFA or, all these things, college and travel and all the nice things that we get to do. But, in the back of our minds, we have to remember, we're doing a job and it's for a reason. And that job, we could potentially lose the life.
Right. Yeah. Hey, so pushing, honestly, that's that snipe talk, Teach. That's how snipes talk. That's how engineers talk. You know what I mean? Hey, Big Navy. Like, I don't know who I'll be talking to. I'll be talking to Big Navy. Hey, Big Navy, check it out. That's how engineers talk. That's what we got out here at the fleet, down in them engineering spaces and fighting those fights. That's how we talk, man. That's what you sign up for.
Right.
So have you pushed what do we call it? Like co-ed? Do we call it co-ed? Or like what's the name of it when it's both men and women?
Integrated push.
Okay. Have you done one of those?
Yeah, so I pushed one integrated push. It was actually during COVID. So I picked up that division in February, right before COVID was a thing. And I'm pretty sure COVID was a thing then because I think I had COVID. It just wasn't classified as COVID. They told me I had two different illnesses at the same time, but a lot of the symptoms lined up with the COVID symptoms. But yeah, it was a completely different dynamic that I've never dealt with. So I had done 5 pushes before I picked that division up, and that was the most challenging push I ever had. And it wasn't because there was female recruits and there was male recruits. Like, recruits are recruits. They got the same problems. They feel the same way. That wasn't the problem. It was the partners. So you have to work together between both sides of the hall. So the 3 people on one side, 3 people on the other side have to get together because you have half of my division hostage in your compartment. So my females or males are in your compartment, and we have to work together, or it's just not going to work out. And that was the most challenging thing for me. Was I used to having 2 people, and now I had 5 other people I had to communicate with. And sometimes we wasn't on the same page and we didn't get along. And that was the most difficult part of that time.
So what was the difference between running through, I got a whole lot of questions about integrated, but some of them could wait or not even ever be asked, right? But what was the big challenge when COVID hit? Like, what was the difference between like running a regular division and a COVID division?
Yeah, so they went away from graduation. So they wasn't doing any graduations. They wasn't allowing anybody that wasn't a recruit or a staff member on the base. So my division, I had to go tell them that like in the middle of the push, like, hey, we're not doing graduation no more. So your family's not going to be able to get to see you graduate. And it was demotivating for them, right? They came there with the intention that they was going to get to walk across the drill deck. Mom and dad or whoever came was going to get to see them be a sailor. And it was very demotivating for them. But I mean, COVID just kind of really fucked everything up. We stopped doing a lot of the things we were doing. We had to wear masks. At one point, they was teaching us how to make masks out of underwear. Like the recruits was going to wear this on their face. And we're like, hey, like this shit ain't sanitary, man. Like they just had them drawers on yesterday and now they're going to put them around their mouth and nose. Like, no, that's not a good idea.
Oh my God.
Who was on the cutting edge of that? Why would they think about that? I don't want you to answer that, but that's crazy to me, man. Like, why would we think about that? Hey, just grab a pair of skivvies
and throw them things on your face.
That's wild, man.
And so you were still there, like after everything went back to the new normal of after COVID, right?
I mean, kind of. So I transferred in March of 21. So COVID was still kind of a thing. We was kind of on the way of figuring it out and on the way out of it. But the school I went to after I left Great Lakes was night and day. It was on an Army base and they didn't give a damn about COVID. People walking around without masks on, not doing a social distancing joint. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah. So I guess I was wondering, because previously to COVID and then after COVID, the Navy just looks different, and I was just wondering if some of the things that after COVID, like it never went back to being the same at RDC.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that we used to have 2 RDCs on deck for are 1 RDC now, and I think we learned that just based upon, it was there for like safety. So, you're not alone with them. But I think that they learned, that's kind of silly, not necessary to do. But nothing was really changing on my way out. When I go back in 8 days, I'll be able to answer that question a little better. Right now, I can't really answer that.
That's what's up, man. Hey, so did the recruits ever even have a decision in the were you there for the vaccination process? at all?
Yeah, I was, but I don't remember if it was voluntary or not. I mean, I did. I was on my 6 push, so we already went through PDAs and got the shots and immunizations and all that stuff, so I didn't have to deal with that. And I pushed 2 after that, but I don't remember if it was during PDAs they got them or if it was still like a voluntary type thing, because it wasn't even mandatory for us to get them until like the middle towards the end of 20. So I can't remember if it was required of them to do it.
So when I went through, I think I remember financial literacy training. I think, right?
I remember it.
I think it was Navy Fed coming in. And I think we also talked about TSP.
Yep.
I think that was it. I don't know, because my memory isn't the greatest as far as the specifics on that. My question for you is, what type of financial literacy training was going on when you were there?
Yeah, so they do the TSP class, but that's right. That's one of the first things they do in PDAs. So they sit down and they do this class with, pick your favorite rate, and that's the instructor of the course. It's not anybody that's from Fleet and Family or has any type of in-depth knowledge of TSP. It's just a brief overview of, hey, this is what TSP is. This is how you use it. And we're going to fill out this paper and you're going to pick what percentage you're going to put into your TSP. So, I mean, in my opinion, we was really doing a disservice to these sailors right off the rip. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't know shit about TSP because I ain't take my ass to Fleet and Family and get smart on it either. But I sat in that same class, 12 years ago, and they was telling me about TSP. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Sounds good. I'm going to put this percentage in, and we have to keep pushing. But financial literacy, I mean, it really wasn't existent. Navy Fed, Armed Forces Bank come and they pitch their credit cards and their debit cards and, have a little overview of, you can get a loan here, car loan and personal loan. But they don't talk about, how to save money, how to manage your money. Like that doesn't really exist there. When I was there, I heard that the additional 2 weeks that they've added on, there is a class on financial literacy. But it was a definite need. There's some folks out there that they just ain't that great with money at all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel the same way about it too. Financial literacy.
Yeah.
So this is a personal question. I know you get like emotionally attached sometime. I mean, I think it's hard not to. As far as I know, it would be hard for me not to. Let me say that. Have you ever legitimately been angry with the recruit? Like legitimately, like even when you walked out of the room, like really pissed off at this person?
Yeah, one time. And it wasn't really, it was because he lied to me and he kept lying to me. He was going to the church services, which they're entitled to go to church. I'm not going to stop you from doing whatever religious things that you need to do. But he wasn't going to church. He was going to the next and buying all kinds of whatever he wanted to at the next. And then, bringing it back to the compartment, and he was either selling it or he was, keeping it for himself, and I confronted him about it. And he just kept lying to me. That's the one time. And I think he said something along the lines of, what are you going to do about it? Or some slick shit like that. And that was the one time that I was really, really kind of pissed off, because I don't like when people lie to me. And when I know that you are lying to me and I've caught you in the lie and you continue to lie, it just makes me even more mad. So that's really the only time I ever got mad. Other than that, it was just, you're being a recruit. You're doing things that are normal that I would expect you to be doing.
As far as that, now we talked about being angry. Now I just want to talk about emotions, period. Because for me, like I said, I have a hard time with like disconnecting or I got a hard time with separation and stuff like that from commands or jobs and stuff like that. I've left jobs that I worked at for like 2-3 years and shed tears. I've left commands that I was stationed at for like 3 years and shed tears. So I know for sure I would have a hard time emotionally with like watching recruits come into the Navy like super green and then leaving in 10 weeks or so, 8 to 10 weeks, however, when you were there, but 10 weeks or so. And then doing it all again, and then doing it all again, and then I feel like it would take a beating on my emotions would take a beating. How was that for you?
Yeah, man. So I mean, as far as like job satisfaction, that is the one place where you get instant job satisfaction. Every 2 months, somebody's validating that you've done a phenomenal job. And I'm not saying like, because they graduated boot camp, you did a phenomenal job. Like the accolades that recruits will give you, like, thank you so much. You changed my life. I appreciate you. Every 2 months, you're getting a brand new set of people coming up to you and saying that stuff. And they want you to sign their, t-shirts or their, picture frames that they get or whatever the case is, because, you were an instrumental, force in their life so young in the Navy. But I mean, I never cried, but I mean, it was difficult to watch these guys go, every 2 months for 3 years, because that's how long I really pushed for being a C school instructor. I was pushing for 3 years. But yeah, I mean, I watched 636 people, under my charge leave. And it was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I can't imagine that.
Right.
For real. What's a normal day for a division of recruits? And this is a question for the young listeners. Every YouTube channel, you got the YouTubers going through all of this and all that for people that's interested in joining. So, from an RDC, what's a normal day for a division of recruits?
Yeah, so it depends on what schedule that they're on. So they're either on Alpha schedule or Bravo schedule. And all that really means is, when do they go to class, right? When do they go to the class that we're not teaching? Is it firefighting? Is it live fire? Is it, Marlin Spike, some type of other class? They either go in the morning or they go in the afternoon. Other than that, the rest of the day is spent with us. So, I mean, we could be doing, preparation for a personnel inspection, dynamic material inspection, drill inspections, firefighting reps and sets, Marlin Spike reps and sets, or line handling reps and sets. It just depends on where they're at in their phase of training, on what we're going to be doing throughout the day. But I mean, they do have classes they have to go to, and they're generally, 3-4 hours long. But other than that, they're with us training for the upcoming inspection.
Yeah, I remember those days, man. Line it up, go to the class, feeling relief, in that classroom. Like, damn, we away from the RDCs for a little bit and stuff like that. I do want to, since we're at it, then since we are here right now, so can you explain like lunch? Because I forgot how that works. Well, the meal, I forgot how the meal works as far as the time and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it really depends on what class you have, what times you're going to get. So every Sunday, at least in RDC from a push, we'll go down to the office and we'll figure out chow times for the week. And then you pick your chow times based off of your schedule. So if you got a class at, 8 o'clock, you're picking an earlier chow time so that you can, get the chow, get the compartment back on spot, get out the house and go over to your class. You have the ability to swap chow hours with different divisions. But I mean, that takes communication between the two RDCs. Like, you can't just roll up in a galley and be like, hey, I'm taking the 12-10 chow spot because I want to. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Now their time to eat is limited, right? Like their time, right? Ain't it like this whole process they got to do?
Yeah. So they have 12 minutes from the time the last person sits down. So if you're the tallest guy, and this is why you're supposed to rotate the people, when you're going to chow. So most people, and I did this stuff too when I was, early on in my tour there, you just go to a chow by height line. All tall, shortest to tallest, let's go. And the tall guy always gets fucked because he has 12 minutes to eat his food, whereas the shortest guy, gets 30 minutes, 35 minutes to eat their food because, they were the first person in line and they sat down and now they're waiting for everybody else to sit down. So I got inventive. I'd be switching it up. Tall guys go first, or, we do it by sections, 11, 12, 13, 14, or whatever the case is. So everybody kind of got, their fair share of being able to enjoy their meal.
Is it a lesson to that? Is it a purpose to that?
Not really.
Just logistics, huh?
It's not really a purpose. It's just the fact that the galley's only open during certain times. And if you have 10 divisions in a ship at one time, everybody has to eat. So that you can't be muddying up, the chow hall, and you can only fit 2 divisions in the chow hall at one time. So if it's you and your brother div or your sister div, there's 2 other divisions coming right behind you. So you got to get up and get out. So that everybody else can sit down and eat.
Yeah. Hey, what's the metric? And hey, for the listeners, just so I think y'all all know, most of the stuff we talking to Cody about, whether it's like black and white, like this is how it's done stuff, and then anything else is his opinion. Just so y'all kind of all know. Especially this next question. What's a underperforming like what's the metric on like how RDCs are evaluated? Because y'all still get evals and all that stuff. So what would an underperforming RDC look like?
I mean, that's such a hard thing to say. They say the top 10% of the Navy is at Great Lakes. In my opinion, the top 10% of the Navy is leaving Great Lakes because you've done an entire tour, you were successful. You learned that time management, leadership. You learned all these different skills and attributes you can take back to the fleet. So on your way out the door, you're probably the top 10%. But when you first get there, you probably ain't got it, buddy. But an underperforming RDC. So for me, if I come in your house and it's always fucked up, like there's just stuff everywhere, nothing is right. And I can tell that you're just really not caring about taking pride in your compartment when somebody first walks in. I'm gonna ask the question, like, what are you doing? Like, and it kind of goes back to what you always saying with the standard thing, right? With the haircuts and the boot shine and the uniform. If you're not taking care of those things, I know damn sure you're not taking care of the rest of the stuff. So for me, I can base my entire evaluation on RDC as soon as I walk in your compartment. If it's all fucked up, I know you're all fucked up, and that's going to, kind of rub off on your recruits as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy. But when you were there, you wasn't yet in position to like sit on ranking boards and all that stuff. But
absolutely not,
because you were going from a second. Yeah,
and even going back as a chief.
Would you recommend you? So you were there. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, even as a chief, you're probably not sitting ranking boards anyways. There's like 430 something chiefs there, and like 10 master chiefs and a shit ton of senior chiefs. So, you're probably not sitting a ranking board as a chief anyways. It's probably going to be your ship's LCPO as a senior chief. You may have like a ship, ranking board amongst like the petty officers in your ship, but you're not going to sit, in the White House and deliberate that with the CMC.
Okay. That's good info, actually. What you got, T?
I lost it. I'm sorry.
All right, that's cool. Hey, what's the craziest Great Lakes story you got, man? Just a few.
Yeah, so
let's protect the innocent. We got while protecting the innocent.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna use no names. And I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible as well. When you get there, when you get your robe, you have to sign a page 13 that states that you will not have contact, like physical or, through a cell phone, an application, like zero contact with the recruit 6 months after the training pipeline. So if that's like they're going to be a nuke 6 months after they graduate from all of their schools, and they're in the fleet doing their job 6 months after that. So it was a guy, he was in the ship, next to mine, and he be calling the compartment phone every night and chatting up with his yeoman. He's an RDC. Nobody finds out. That they think it's kind of weird because this girl sitting in a fishbowl, after taps, talking on the phone, which that shit does happen. I mean, people abuse the phone and call home or whatever. But he got caught up with her across the street down by the beach in his car, and he was in uniform with a rope and got caught up by base security. Rope pulls, sent back to the fleet, never making rank again. But I mean, there's other stories out there too.
Wow.
Like the recruits in the car, in the trunk, and they in the center compartment with RDC in the shower. I mean, those are all true. It's not some made up stuff. Like those things are all true.
We told that trunk story on this podcast.
I heard it.
Yeah, we built the podcast off that story. That's it. That was episode 1.
That's crazy.
We built off of that fucking story.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Trunk Space, man. No shout out to the person who did that shit. That shit is foul, crazy, and damn. Actually, somebody wild. I knew. You might know him. I ain't gonna say his name on here, but I think he was stationed there at the time. He told me the story that happened about the trunk at that time. He was there. Hey, so for the inquiring minds, what's ITE?
So ITE is intensive training exercises. So it's a card with a list of exercises and a certain amount of repetitions on it, or minutes of time that we can perform an exercise. And it's used as a motivational tool. So you need some extra motivation. And I'm going to make you do some push-ups or, jumping jacks or sit-ups or whatever the card got on it to motivate you to do the things that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Hey, so because sometimes we get people like making this judgment a lot. So evaluating your time when you were in boot camp compared to your time when you were RDC, do you feel like anything got softer?
Towards the beginning of my tour, no. But towards the back half of my tour, you could kind of tell like things were kind of moving towards a softer direction. COVID really kind of had a big part of that too. We weren't getting any more RDCs because of the whole stop thing with the transfers and whatnot. So we were making do with what we had. We weren't training any new people to come, fill the spots for the people that were actually transferring. So you're dealing with people that got extended, a year. Yeah. And then on top of that, they got extended 6 months because they couldn't transfer. So you're dealing with people that have been there for almost 5 years, and they're just over it. 3 years is enough. A 5-year tour there is insane. And I know people that did back-to-back tours, and that shit is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys pick the RPOC? I always wondered that.
So there's a couple of different ways. I picked an RPOC twice out of 8 pushes because I really didn't give a shit because I'll train anybody to be an RPOC. But I had one chief lead when I was there, and he picked it based off of what the guy looked like. He canvassed the division the first day. It was like, that guy looks like the RPOC. And that's from P1 to day of graduation. That's who we had because he had the RPOC look. I don't know what the fuck that means. This day. But that's what he said. He got the RPOC look.
Yeah. I remember somebody I know got fired from Wendy's because he ain't had a look. He had a Wendy's look. No, he ain't get fired. Matter of fact, like that. He couldn't work the register. His name was Mike. Shout out to Mike. Yo, you couldn't work the register because you ain't had a Wendy's look, man. They told him he ain't had a look for the register. I said, that's messed up, man. Hey, Damon, you here? What up, baby? What up? Can you hear us?
What it do? Can y'all hear me out there, man?
Loud and
turn that
clear.
mic down, baby. Turn that mic down.
I'm back now, baby. I'm back.
Yeah, you had to go back to that professional mic, man.
Yeah, that's what got me, man. It was nasty last week. It was nasty, man. But I'm back, man. What you guys got going on, man? What you guys talking about?
Like, he try to hurry up and get back. Hey, I got jokes, man. No, we good. Hey, no, we talk about boot camp. So, Cody, DC type.
Oh man, hold up, break, stop right there for a second, man. Stop right there.
You already know.
Hey, Cody, man, how it feel to wake up every day knowing you got the best rate in the Navy, man? Talk to the people, man. Talk to the people.
I be telling people that all the time, right? Every day is a great day to be a damage controlman. Every day. Every day.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, you know what, man? Hey, look. And to be honest with you, is that like we know shit live this shit, man. This ain't no like we making up, we just talking about it. No. If you talk to real damage control, man, you feel the energy, you feel the motivation, you feel this readiness about you, man. Look at Tish right now. She's smiling because she knows she feel the energy from me right now. Look at her.
Yeah, Damon, I can't lie. Like, Damon used to motivate me on the ship. Like to do that shit, man. Yeah, every time I'm like, yo, why these dudes so motivated? These dudes old, man. These dudes been there 26 years, man, 27 years.
And working the hardest too, man.
Decrepit. Like I'm like, yo, these dudes are still motivated. Like I ain't never seen no shit like this.
Yeah.
All right, back to real quick. Well, since you just came in here, we were talking about getting beat earlier, right? ITE. But you ever had to do them arm circles, Damon?
Man, them arm circles don't stop, man. Like, come on, man. How many times you really can go back and forth with them arm circles, man? Like,
it sounds so soft. Like arm circles.
Arm circles.
I'm up there. 5 minutes later,
arms feel like spaghetti.
I challenged a recruit one time to do arm circles longer than me, and I gave him a phone call for an hour. At an hour and a half, I gave up.
Damn.
Because this dude is not.
Dang.
He wanted that phone call.
He wanted that call. He didn't even lift the phone after that.
I gave him his phone call, but damn, an hour and a half.
He had to be on speakerphone after that.
Damn, what I'm doing on arm circles.
What type of day was that? What type of was that like a Sunday or a regular day?
No, I think it was a Saturday. So I was there by myself. I think I had just got done training drill or something. And we were doing ITE because they was fucking something up. And this guy was just doing arm circles. And then we got done and he just kept doing it. And I was like, oh, you a smart ass, huh? Like, if you can do arm circles longer than me, then you get an hour phone call. And I quit after an hour and a half. Like, I got shit to do, man. I can't be fucking around with you.
Hey, how's life like at RDC, but outside of the division? Like, what's the normal command? Like, so before you start, like where I work at now, like I work with a bunch of MAs. It ain't nothing normal about working with MAs. Nothing at all. They work these shifts. Like they is 2 on, 3 off, and the Panama shifts and all that. Like it's nothing normal. Like anything we want to do, hey, 60, we got to take account of the shifts. We want to do all hands call, we got to take account of shit. Like so everything. Like so when I'm talking about normal Navy life, I'm talking about like those other things outside of pushing the boots. Like how is that?
Yeah, man. So, I predominantly work with surface rates. And I really didn't know that there was other rates in the Navy. Like I knew there was aviation rates and shit like that because they're aircraft carriers. But I mean, up there, you got every damn rate that there is. You got CBs, you got, air rates, surface rates. There's a little flavor of everything, and everybody does everything different. Like I didn't understand what tool control was. But I think the surface Navy need to have some damn tool control. Because I don't never have no 9/16 French because them motherfuckers drop that shit in the bilge and then we'll just get a new one. But yeah, it was an interesting dynamic to encounter all these different communities and all these different rates and how they do things versus the surface Navy. It was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah. So earlier you said the top 10% leave RDC, right? And I thought it was a very good observation. How did RDC change you?
Yeah, I mean, I was real young when I got there, and I really didn't have a good chief. I mean, I had chiefs, but my one of my chiefs, we'd be running damage control drills, and he'd be sitting on a couch in a general workshop. Because he was retiring. Like he just didn't give a damn about, what we were doing to be successful. So I didn't really have a chief when I got there, when on the ship. But when I got to RTC, just the caliber of people just make you better. the way they think and the way they do things, and if you're around people that, are good, you're going to push yourself to be better than them. I learned a lot about leadership, a lot about accountability, time management. There's a lot of different skills that I took out of there that, I apply now, in my daily life.
Yeah.
And since you went as an E5, you're still studying for the E6 exam. So how do you make time for that while pushing boots? Because I know you said the first two pushes that you did, you were working long hours. So how did you fit studying into that? Because you made first, so obviously you did it.
Yeah. So, and if you listen in, you're a junior sailor, don't do like me, right? Study for the advancement exam. And I never did study for the advancement exam. I wasn't that guy. I didn't know what bibs were. Nobody told me, hey, these are the bibs and this is how you break them down and this is what you got to do and this is the answer to the test. Nobody told me that information. But when I made first, it was 46%. So if I didn't make first class, I probably should have just got out the Navy because damage control was not the business I needed to be in at 46%. So, but
to follow up with that real quick, Dumbo, to follow up with that, hey, for the listeners out there, how many of you guys, do not know about the bibs? Do not know how to break them down. It's a real thing out there, man. If you start asking your sailors ask the sailors that question, and you'll be surprised on how many sailors do not know how to break that down. I think you said something about that before too, Dumbo, man, but it's a lot of sailors out there that do not know how to break those bibs down and study. We could be studying if he tells us to study the 555, we know how big that shit is. It means nothing to us. You say the NSTM, but how to break it down and what they talking about and things like that, man. It's crazy to know how many people do not know how to study that stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, bro. Like when I was in and out of medical that week, my dumb ass. I'm in and out of medical for my own bullshit, right? And I run into a young sailor and I just start talking to her while I'm supposed to be going to medical because I'm dealing with some shit. And she was an EM, so man, I'm like, yo, let's sit on the bench. I gotta be in here in 9 minutes, but I got 9 minutes to talk. And we was talking about advancement, and she was asking me how did I advance? Boom, boom. And then I was talking to her about the bibs, man. And the bibs used to have hyperlinks, where you could just click the link and the instruction just come right there. It was easy. She's so she pretty much was saying she don't like the bibs. And it wasn't that she didn't like the bibs. She just never really got a good breakdown of the bibs to understand them. So now I was letting her know we got NEATS modules on YouTube and you can study off you. She's like, for real? I'm like, yeah. So you're right. It's not a lot of people talking. But like I said before, and I don't want to get into it, that's what happened when the fucking executive chef is never in the kitchen. You know what I mean? And those kind of conversations. She's like EM3. An EM3 don't sit on a bench with I'm not EM no more, but an EM3 don't sit on a bench with a senior chief that was an EM in the Navy and just have these kind of conversations where we could talk through those things quick. I don't think those things happen as much as they should, but that's based off of only my observation, and it's limited, right?
There's those apps out there now on their phones that they be using, the Blue Jacketeer app or whatever the case is. I downloaded that for Chief and paid the $20, and ain't no damn question that I studied on that app was on the test. I don't know what the hell
just being honest.
He ain't even lying.
Hey, question for you. It's funny because I feel like you already answered it. And then in another way, you can't answer it because it's been answered for you. But my question is, would you do it again?
I do have to go back and do a push. But yeah, I would go back and do a tour again just because I want to see, what the difference is between going as a junior sailor and then kind of going back as a senior sailor. And I want to get back to the Navy. Yeah. And it probably wouldn't be in some of my last tour that I did it, just so, it was kind of my retirement gig. And it's a good place to retire up there from what I heard. Medical facilities right there. And, the retirement process is pretty simple up there. So I would probably do it, towards the latter part of my career if I did go back. But that's for the wife. decision to make. Not really, mine solely.
Yeah. So who's slated to get out first? You or your wife?
Yeah, she is. She got 4 years left. She's been in 16 years.
Okay.
Okay.
I kind of figured because she was higher ranking, right? She was higher ranking when y'all met, right?
Yeah.
Have any of your recruits stood out to you more than like others? Probably more than one, but any of them like you really like saw a lot of potential, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I had a guy in my second division. He was my RPOC. I don't remember his name and where he's from to this day. His name is Robert Beltran, and he's from California. I actually saw him, I don't know, the year after I left. He was a second class. But I knew from the very beginning, right, that guy, he had what it took to be in the Navy, right? He had that go-getting, I'm going to strive to be my best, and that competitive attitude to be the best. And he always stuck out to me as somebody that was going to be successful in the Navy if he tried to make it a career.
Yeah.
That competitive attitude. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny because that's a familiar name. Beltran. That's a familiar name. Huh? But I ain't even going to think about it. So
have you ever had sailors after the 6-month period reach back out to you like via social media and like want you to be their mentor or anything like that?
Yeah, none of them have asked me to be their mentor. But some of them have reached out to me and, kind of thanked me. And I mean, this was inside the 6 months, but I never really, said anything about it. Meaning they can find me on Facebook. My account's not private, but just kind of, thanking me for what I did and keeping me up to date on where they're at in their career. So yeah, there's been a few. It's not a lot of people, but there's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so you said earlier while we were talking that you listened to our first episode?
Not the first one, but I think it was, it was one of the 100, in the 100 episodes you was talking about the recruit in the trunk. But I haven't listened to the first one, so I might have to do that.
Oh, yeah. You got to go back. Yeah, I got it. You have to go back. Hey, so I want to talk about this 10 weeks, right? Because that happened. How long ago did that happen in 2022? When did 10 weeks happen?
Yeah, so they were talking about making it a 10-week kind of thing. And they really did it during COVID because they had to ROM for 14 days. So boot camp essentially was 14 days. They just weren't in a training status those first 2 days or the first 2 weeks because they were in ROM. But I think this is a 22 into 22 kind of thing that happened because they went away from the life skills courses. So they kind of just lumped it into kind of the Marine Corps, attitude of why don't we just do this stuff at boot camp and then send them to their accession school.
Yeah, and it's called like Seller for Life. Some of that is called. Some of what's in those 2 weeks is called Seller for Life. Were you there for the I know you said you were there when they extended it because you were there during COVID. Were you there to see what that Seller for Life course looked like or anything?
No, I wasn't there during that time.
Okay, but you were there for the addition of Warrior Toughness, right?
Yeah, so actually my C-School class was the first RDC class to get the Warrior Toughness training. But yeah, it was a huge thing my entire time while I was there was teaching the Warrior Toughness parts that we taught.
So how is Warrior Toughness? So I'm gonna tell you what makes me ask this question. I was teaching a ELD course, and hey, before I go there, how long you got time? You got I don't got that much time left, but you got time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last person we had on, he was like, man, I cleared my schedule for y'all. We could go all night. I said, okay, cool, But I was teaching an ELD course and Warrior Toughness came up and I was doing like some call and response and asking questions and stuff like that. And like the sellers, they ain't know shit. Like I'll be straight. They couldn't answer anything about Warrior Toughness. Not one thing. Not one fucking question. And I was inside, I was a little disappointed, but that wasn't the fact that I matter of the course, right? I ain't had time to be disappointed. But I was like, oh my gosh. So that's why I was like, all right, well, let me ask you about Warrior Toughness. And like, like, is it more of something that's just inculcated into the command, or is it like a point blank training day or topic or something? Like, how is it like inserted into the training?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be on specific days of training that we do. We introduce these exercises. So the recalibration portion of it, we're supposed to introduce in P days, and they do the recalibration exercise. And then I don't remember what the days of training are that we do all this stuff, but sometimes other entities are responsible for teaching their part of the warrior toughness program. So Ball and Spike has a piece in this, firefighting has a piece in this, the pool has another part of this. So if they're not kind of doing their part, then it doesn't really mesh together to be what it's supposed to be. So the RDCs can teach it, and 9 times out of 10, well, not 9 times out of 10, but I would say probably half of them just breeze by it because they don't believe in, kind of what it is and how it can change the mindset of a person. But I mean, it truly does work. Warrior tough, and oftentimes we do the stuff without even thinking that we're doing it. So a part of that is like mental rehearsal. So mental rehearsal is basically, visualizing the task you're about to do vividly in your mind before you complete the task. I do that shit all the time. This is what I'm about to do, and I'm playing through my mind how I want the scenario to go and what the anticipated pitfalls would be, or what the anticipated responses from people would be, and how I'm going to deal with those different questions or feedback that I might get. So people do this stuff all the time, but the Navy just coined it warrior toughness and gave it all these names of stuff.
Yeah, so it becomes like more things to remember and more things to kind of add to your toolbox and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, so around what was it, like March of this year? I think March of this year we probably reported in April, but it came out I think March about the cell phone use, right? So the cell phone use in boot camp, 5 calls. Looking into it, it looks like the normal 5 calls that we would have had when we went through. It's just that they can make those calls on a cell phone, right? Look, after I looked into it a little bit, Tish, it don't look like nothing different. It don't look like they could, be doing all types of crazy stuff. But what's your thoughts on that cell phone usage? Am I kind of hitting it spot on, or is it anything more?
No, I mean, that's kind of what it is. In my opinion, they're getting a phone call anyways, so they might as well just use their cell phone. Now we ain't got to, keep track of phone cards and, all this kind of stuff. And the family doesn't recognize the phone number, so they're not going to pick up the phone because people don't pick up phone calls that they don't understand the number from. And, it just kind of alleviates that burden of now they got to have a phone card. They got to have money to buy the phone card. And the cell phone is at the disposal of the RDCs all the time, right? We keep it in the work center locked up. So if I need you to make a phone call for, your security clearance, or, you're getting ASMO'd and I need you to call your recruiter and your mom or dad or whatever the case is, I'm just giving you your cell phone to make that call. But I think there was some misconception when this first came out that, they can have their cell phone whenever they want to, or during holiday routine on Sundays or whatever. And that's not true. It's during the scheduled phone calls that they get their cell phone, or when the RDC permits that they can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to know though. I would like to know where it came from though. Right. I like to know the why behind it. Did it come about because we had a focus group? Did it come about because, junior sailors put something in there, some type of box and say, hey, we'd like to do this. I just like to know how did that, became a thing. Not saying I dislike it. It makes sense when you talking about the phone cards and the, all that stuff. And then you in one, you in one ship, right? So now it's all right there. You ain't got to go nowhere or anything because the cell phones are right there. So it kind of makes sense, but I just like to know where, it started from though. I like to do that.
In the article I read, it just said efforts to modernize the process, just to get that shit up to 2024.
So we were the last branch to do it. I think every other branch of the DoD is allowing their cadets or recruits or whatever they're called to have their cell phone in boot camp. And I think we just had that old school mentality where we got, 35 payphones. Why don't they just use those instead of their cell phones? Well, because it's 2024 and everybody got a damn cell phone. Why don't we just let them use that? It just makes perfect sense. Why are we wasting all these resources and materials and shit when they got that at their disposal all the time?
Man, my kids don't know what a cell phone is, man. I mean, not a cell phone, but a payphone. Man,
they never saw them. They never saw them. That shit like going to a wax museum, bro. Like, for
real,
like,
man.
What is this? First off, like, what do you do?
It's so crazy, Dumbo. When I seen one probably about 6 months ago somewhere, man. We taking pictures of it and everything. We taking pictures with the phone, selfies.
That's crazy.
That was crazy, man.
I was watching this video where the army was, they was like, you don't have to curse. They was at boot camp. You don't got to curse to get your point across to these, And then the next flash was the Navy person saying like, "Nah, we ain't changing nothing. We go hard. We ain't getting soft. I found that better. Funny. I got a question for you, right? So we do that. You familiar with our Do Better segment?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to ask that because when we had CJ on it, I was like, hey, can you do Better? He like, yo, what's that? It's like, so I want to make sure. Do you have a Do Better that's boot camp related?
Damn. Boot camp related?
Our RDC.
Something we can do better or should do better.
Our RTC related, our Great Lakes related.
Yeah, man. I think we got to do a better job of promoting what RDC duty really entails. Because I don't think anybody that hasn't done the job actually knows what the job entails. There's the fleet rumors out there, or the rumors from the recruits that just came through, and they were mean to me, or did this or did that, or the working hours suck, and there's a whole bunch of rumors out there, but nobody is promoting RDC duty that I've seen. I know they do road shows to different places, and they take RDCs and they go to different bases and whatnot and do these shows for, recruitment or whatever. But, nowhere where I've been have I seen, one of these, road shows set up for somebody to say, what is this? How do I do it? And what is my life actually going to be like? So I think we can do a better job in the Navy of promoting the RDC job, because without RDCs, you're not going to have any sailors in the fleet to train and guide and mentor. So,
yeah, I mean, we make it look like it's the hardest thing in the fucking Navy.
Yeah,
yeah, man. If you
does
promote,
not look desirable.
If you promote it too much, you'll never probably get nobody would want to be a RDC, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy job by any means, but it is extremely rewarding. It's not no cakewalk, but
I agree with that.
It's hands down the best job I've ever done in the Navy.
Wow, that's good.
And what you missed earlier, Damon, was Cody talking about like time off, like that is a misconception that like it's these 17-hour days every day type shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
How much fun did you have outside of work when you were in the Great Lakes area?
So I did. Right, yes, Chicago down there, and I really didn't go to Chicago. I don't like traffic, and I don't like a lot of people, so I didn't really go down there a whole lot. I went to see the Bean or whatever that statue is down there, and kind of hung out in the Chicago area for a day or whatever. But Milwaukee is just the same distance of an hour, and it's quieter. There's still the same things to do, and in my opinion, it's a better atmosphere. But I mean, there's a bunch of stuff to do around there. If you like hiking, you like kayaking, being indoors, outdoors, whatever you want to do in that area, you can pretty much find it.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, Damon, Cody is from a small town called Farmland. That's the name of the town. Farmland.
Farmland.
Yeah, right. It's called Farmland, right? I'm not that. Yeah, Farmland, right?
Yeah.
Small town. One stoplight. I don't even know if it's a stoplight at all. Like from what he was saying.
You just blink and you're already through it.
Just so you know, just for future question. Hey,
no to Walmart.
Yeah, unproductive question, but I'm sure some sellers are wondering this. How do you quit? How does a recruit quit?
Oh, that's easy. You just say that you want to quit. And a lot of times, right, they're saying it because they're stressed or it's a different environment or whatever the case is. But I've legitimately had a person that's like, yeah, this shit ain't for me. And I don't want to do it anymore. So there's a misconception that like when you raise your hand and you swear in, you get on the bus and go to MEPS or whatever, like you're in the Navy at that point. That's really not what it is. Until you graduate from boot camp, you're not a sailor yet. So after that process, it's significantly harder for you to get, kicked out of the Navy, right? Asset process, NJP, all those different avenues or whatever, whatever the case may be. But in boot camp, it is extremely easy for them to leave. And the biggest one that they utilize is they're going to harm themselves. If they say that, it's a done deal. They no longer will be in the Navy at that point.
Yeah, and I think it's a 17% dropout rate right now for boot camp. Yeah. I don't think that's bad numbers for any kind of, me personally, I don't think that's bad numbers for any type of boot camp. Are the first 2 weeks still considerably the hardest for a recruit?
Yeah, I mean that's where you're getting the culture shock and we're stressing you out, breaking you down to build you back up. And we're making you do things that you probably wouldn't have done before, right? You may not have had a job that you have to be up at a certain time and to this place at a certain time, and you're going to bed at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm making you PT all the time, and you're marching around the base. So it's just a lot for them to adjust to, initially when they get there.
Yeah. And then another question from a listener. I think you might have answered it like roundabout like 3 times already, but directly from the listener, what's your favorite thing about being an RDC?
Yeah. So my favorite thing was the ability to affect so many people, in one setting. Right? A lot of times you're never going to go to a place, where you're affecting 65 to 80 people, at one time. In a division on a DDG, you got, 6 damage control men, on a good day, and that's unheard of to have that many people. So, I had the ability to affect 636 people's lives during my entire tour there. And that was my favorite part, aside from all the other stuff. I don't remember half the stuff that we did or they did. I just remember that, they're going to go out to the fleet, and some of them probably got out at this point. But, I made a mark on them and tried to be a positive influence in their life.
Yeah. So what's some of the entering ideas and thoughts you got in your head now that you're going in the next 8 days? Because I know, like, if I went through before and did the full experience, I'd be like, all right, look, this is how I'm going to go through it. This is how I'm going to attack it this time. You got any thoughts like that?
Yeah, I mean, so I think that, going back, it's going to be 90 days. It'll be a 90-day, type deal. So, I mean, I'm going to, try to make a more positive impact this time. And there's some things that I probably calmed down about that I'm not going to, fly off the handle because they didn't, do exactly what I told them to do when I told them to do it. But I probably will have far less stress because I know how to do the job and what obstacles and barriers that I'm going to have when I get there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have to go back? You got to go back through school again or no?
No. So it'll be a 2-week refresher. So I'll do some PT probably 3 times just so I can learn how they're doing PT now. And then get up to speed on the changes that have happened. And then I'll go out and do a push.
Hey, this is a question. I only got 2 more questions for you, Cody. And the last 2 questions I got are really for everybody. The first one is this. What do y'all wish y'all would have like known, right? And this question to me is kind of birthed from YouTube now, because if you go on YouTube, it's all these young sailors like talking about their boot camp experience and stuff like that. So a young person that's about to go to boot camp could literally like go on Reddit or go on YouTube and get an idea about like boot camp. When I was young, my uncle and my aunt, they were both in the Navy. They both went through boot camp. They had both retired by that time. But I wasn't really worried about boot camp. I was more worried about my bonus, my signing bonus and things like that, right? So when I talked to my uncle, my conversation with him was about the Navy experience and the signing bonus. And all he told me through boot camp was it's a mental thing. You know, it's a mental thing. That's kind of what he told me. And that was how, that was the only advice I got from him. But it's some things I wish I would have knew before I went. So my question for y'all is like, what's something that y'all wish y'all would have known before y'all went to boot camp?
There's different people in the world and they don't all look like me, because I didn't know that there was different people in different cultures, different backgrounds. I thought everybody was from a small town, looked like me, talked like me, and you know, knew what a cornfield and a horse was, but come to find out that some people just don't know what a fucking horse looks like because they from the inner city.
They from New York.
and they don't got horses just roaming around in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, I'm from the inner city, bro. We had a chicken in the neighborhood one day and neighborhood went crazy. It's like, what the fuck is this chicken doing out here, man? Neighborhood went crazy, man. I'm from Philly, so we got like cowboys. It's like a cowboy culture in Philly, like a urban cowboy culture. I think it's pretty cool and pretty interesting. They like made movies about it and all that shit. But that chicken threw us off, man. like what the hell going on over here? What about you, Tish?
You know, I can't think of anything. I feel like I was just so open. And I don't think there's anything like, oh, I wish, not that I can remember anyway, because, you know, it was a long time ago, but I can't remember anything that's like, I wish I knew this before I went in, because it was all just a shock to me. I was from a relatively small town. And so I had not really traveled outside. It wasn't really like a culture thing. It was just like being in the different environment. I'd never really been in that environment before. I can tell you what I wish I would have done. I'm still mad that I missed, I think it's the obstacle course. What is that called? Isn't there like an obstacle course or something? There was something that happened that I couldn't do because I had my teeth pulled. And I was SIQ. And I really wanted to do it. Oh, that's what I think it was Captain's Cup. It was Captain's Cup. Yeah, it was. I didn't get a chance to do it because I had my teeth pulled, and everybody came back, and it was a different camaraderie among the division after they got back, and I felt like I was left out of that because it felt like it was a shift. It felt like it was a shift that happened at Captain's Cup, and they all had so much fun, and they built like this togetherness, and something just kind of clicked, and everybody started working together. And I was like, I want to be a part of that too. Yeah, and I'll be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's funny. It's sad that I laugh at you not being a part of the triumph that brought y'all together closer. Like you was on the outskirts. Like, yo, she wasn't with us when we were shooting at the gym.
We're in the gym, right?
She wasn't with us. That's funny. What about you, Damon?
I don't know, man. I think if somebody would have told me that to put more into trying to stand out a little bit more, man. Like I came in as an E1 and I seen these guys end up doing certain things in boot camp and become getting, you know, E2 when they get out and doing all this stuff. Me, I was trying to lay low. I was trying not to be seen. I wasn't trying to do nothing crazy. I just wish somebody would say, hey, man, if you do this, you know what I mean? This stuff could happen for you or whatever. I mean, I most definitely, no shit. I stood, like I wasn't saying nothing. I laughed a lot, of course, and I got beat for that a little bit. But other than that, man, I was trying to lay low and not not be seen or heard or nothing, man. So
damn, David. Ours is the same. So, well, the first part is this, right? Remember, I said it on a pod. I was an RPOC for like 0.5 seconds and I got fired, right? So they called, I didn't know what, they just called me. They called my name and they said front and center and I was walking slow, like stretched out of pain. It's like early at the time. And then they said, dude said, get the fuck back. Like, I'm like, I don't even know. He was like, when I tell you to come, you say move and petty officer, you get as fast as you can. I'm like, okay, like that's a lesson. Like I ain't know shit. And then the dude they called after, Lindauer is his name. The dude they called after, he became the RPOC and he was the RPOC for the whole time. So that was what they were doing. They were selecting the RPOC. So, but that's not what I regret. What I do regret, what I wish I would have known was just like you said, Damon. I wish I would have known motherfucker was going to get promoted at the end of this.
Yeah, man.
Like it was just one day. I just started seeing people make rank. I'm like, yo, what the hell? We had a chance to make rank for this shit.
Right.
I didn't know that. Like it was a surprise. Like I don't know if it's meant to be a surprise or not, or if I just wasn't aware because sometimes I'm not aware of that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I would have to agree with that because, like, in high school I was in band, and then I found out that they had like this whole band thing, and you can get promoted. I was like, damn, I ain't know that about that.
Yeah. Is that do we know that, Cody, or is that supposed to be like a surprise?
I mean, there's nothing that's written down like that it's supposed to be a surprise, but I mean, normally we wait until, midway through, we'll make the selection because there's only a certain amount of people that can get promoted. So it's based upon the division numbers, how big your division is, how many people you can promote. So, we'll kind of wait until the end to do that. Normally, our pod gets promoted, and then for me, it was who did an outstanding job throughout the whole process. I promoted my head PO once, right? Because I went in the head, and there wasn't a damn thing you could find wrong with it. He took care of that. He took care of that thing the whole time. So it just depends on what you're doing on when you're going to get promoted or how.
Yeah. And then my last question, man, for everybody is like, why do y'all think changes the boot camp and recruitment seem to be the ones that have people in their feelings the most?
It's nostalgic.
Nostalgic?
Yeah. It's like that, I did it. We did it this way. Don't change it. Like history, that's your core. And it's like, you don't want it to change to where it's not recognizable anymore to you. Because then you feel either old or like, old.
I don't know. I mean, I think that, it kind of line, because I'm on these chief pages, on Facebook, and it's all about, when I went through season, this is how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And, we should still be doing it that way. And we're making soft chiefs now. I think it kind of lines up with that. When they went through boot camp, they was getting the ass whooped, 3 ways to Sunday every single day. And I think that's what boot camp should be now. But I would argue that we're putting out a better product now than we were, back then. Ships didn't have all the multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment that are electronic. I don't need somebody that's super strong to work on that stuff. I need somebody that's, mentally tough and smart, to understand this computer stuff that I don't necessarily understand. I need somebody like that can understand it. So, that's just my opinion on the matter.
Yeah. Hey, Cody, did we miss anything?
No, I don't think so, man.
Hey, so I want to say this. This like in real time, this has been one of my favorite conversations that we had like with a guest. I feel like it was very, very, very informative and just like crisp, and I feel like super clear. Yeah, I liked it a lot, man. I appreciated it. Like this was
absolutely
good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it cleared up a lot of misconceptions. people who are interested, but it's like, I don't know, they listening to the word on the streets or, so I think you definitely represented what being an RDC is all about, and probably motivated a lot of people to want to do that and not listen to the ones who've never been before, who just hear in the scuttlebutt, but actually listen to someone who's actually been through it and feels like it's worth it and who's going back.
And this shit, 8 days, right? Hey, so look, what we about to do, we about to bullshit for like 10 minutes. Bro, like for like another 10, 15 minutes. You more than welcome to kick it with us through the rest of this. But if you got some family stuff you need to do, we totally understand. But I just got a couple more topics that we want to bullshit about that don't got nothing to do with RDC.
All right.
All right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking. All right, let's get into it. Hey, so look, check it out. First question is this. Why the fuck is it like this whole reason that we can't have beers when we go on leave? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like that's so frustrating to me. Like, I'm on leave right now, and I had to go to a couple fucking events, right? Because it's the season. And it's coming. Hey, Damon, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, it's the season, and it's like I had all hands and all that shit, and I'm like, man, I gotta shave because I wanted like a nice little shadow for the Usher show, like, you know what I mean? And like, it's like, because most people still grow there but if you go to the command, it's gonna be that person like, now you gotta fucking shave. It's probably sound funny coming from me, right? But you gotta shave. You still gotta shave on leave. Why?
How'd you become man SCF?
What's your thoughts on that?
Chief, right? Like that, you're supposed to be promoted.
Yeah, I'm the class. Yeah. And I will. Hey, man, you need to shave, but I don't like it. Like, why the fuck do we need to shave?
Yeah, man. I don't know either, Dumbo. I'm with you, man. I just don't understand it, for one. But like you said, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to shave. But still, if you go back to the command, but... I'm not in uniform. I'm not in. If you have to go back for a reason or something, you're trying to show up to support somebody, and I gotta shave. Come on, man. But I tell you, man, like I've seen people do it all the time. You know what I mean? I have seen people come back and didn't shave and didn't do this and didn't do that. But I never want to ever be that guy though, because I know people call my ass out in a heartbeat, man. Like, but it's crazy to think about when you on leave. But I tell you what, Dumbo, have you ever been called out though, or you just think people will call you out
for not shaving?
For not shaving? Yeah, if you went back.
I never I never did it as a chief, but I've been called out for not shaving on leave. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I went back to my command, and it was my man. I think my man. He listened to I feel like it was you. Hey, I ain't gonna say his name. I feel like it was you though. You know who I'm talking about. He listened to the pod, but I feel like I went back to work. I was in Annapolis. I feel like I went back and I ain't shaved. I was doing something, and somebody was like, "Yo, even though you on leave, they try to pull you to the side, type shit. Yeah. Even though you on leave, you supposed to be shaving." I'm like, come on, like what the fuck?
You know
like,
what, Dumbo?
Type of rule is this?
You see, Dumbo always been, squared away. He probably was like, "Hey, finally got him. I finally got him, boy. I got him." You know what I mean? I couldn't wait to see you, Dumbo.
They was trying to get me at that command. They was the chief was trying to get me at that command, man. It's a lot of reasons they try to fire shit on me, boy. It was bad, yo. They wanted, man. If it wasn't for the officers, we was talking about evals last week. If it wasn't for the officers, like my ranking would have been affected. Like I had a bad relationship with the chiefs there. I love those guys, man. I love y'all. Why y'all do me like that? I just don't get it. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Love those guys. Fuck those guys. Nah, I love those guys. Hey, so I went to go see Usher. Amazing show. His conditioning is amazing. I ain't gonna get into like a whole bunch of like Usher glazing, right? But what I will say is this. When we left, Angeline was like, well, Bruno Mars still kind of takes it when it comes to performing. So the difference between Bruno Mars and Usher, the only difference is that Bruno Mars sang like 100% of the fucking music while he did all the other stuff that he did versus Usher, who sang a lot of the songs, but I would say about 60% of the songs he would sing, then like he would like dance and do other shit. Like it don't matter what Bruno Mars was doing. He could have been doing jumping jacks, backflips. He was still singing his song and it sounded exactly like the record. Usher's was a little less singing, a lot more theatrics. It was a hell of a show. Everything was on point. It's Usher, like one of the, best performers, that we've had, right? In pop music. So it was Usher. It was amazing. He brought out some people from DC. It was amazing. Question for y'all. Have y'all ever been to a Navy ball?
Yes.
No.
All right, so Tisha's been. How'd you like it?
It's boring.
For real?
I went though. I think it was my first duty station because I was on color guard, and so I went, and it was boring, but it was like I would rather be in my barracks room chilling.
Oh, you was a junior sailor?
Yeah, I was a junior sailor.
Everything boring. Everything official was boring as a junior sailor.
Yeah, everything is boring as a junior sailor. But again, like I was in the color guard, and so I went, did my color guard thing, hung out for a little bit, and I was just like, all right, my work here is done. I'm out. Yeah. Because it was like boring.
Yeah, you wasn't open to the idea of it. That's what it was.
No, I wasn't. Yeah. But had I stayed longer, because there's a sophisticated part of it, and then it transitions over and shit gets real. Had I stayed for the shit gets real part, I may have had a different perspective of the Navy ball.
Shit get real at the Navy ball?
Shit get real. What define that shit? Define that shit.
Depending on where you at, yeah. Sometimes shit can get real at the Navy ball.
What's getting real? Like
yeah.
At the Navy ball. Like the wives are getting lit.
Oh no, not the wives.
When the vampires leave?
Yeah.
Hey, I only say that because they be wearing them suits that look like they from the 1700s and shit like that.
Yeah.
Cummerbunds and shit like
yeah.
Well, I asked that because I've never been. But my Angelina asked me the other day. She's like, "We haven't been to something." I'm like, "Well, they got these tickets to the Navy ball, but I just bought season tickets. Them joints was $200. Season tickets,
so
$200.
You was like,
don't ask how much mine was.
I was way more expensive.
They trying to get your money for real.
Yeah,
they trying to get y'all. So our season tickets was $200. The Pride Day tickets damn near, I think $150 or something like that. It's something else we got to pay for. I'm like, damn, man. Like, I forgot the season be getting you for all this damn money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That's why we need to fundraise better, man. That's what it is. We need to fundraise. Make some money.
That's juicy right there.
They said no. They said no.
I ain't talking about with selects. I'm talking about throughout.
Okay.
Clarify that shit,
though. I know.
If you listen and if y'all thinking I'm talking about making selects fundraise, it's the problem. That's the problem. Like I'm talking about throughout the year. Look, that's why fundraising ain't tight no more because selects ain't doing it. Chiefs got fucking ran out of ideas and shit.
Right. We just be like, hey, how much money I need to put in?
Yeah.
Hey, he's trying to do all the other shit. Right,
yeah, man. Them Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
That's like. It's funny why you say that. They just did that like a couple weeks ago. They just making them Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Chick-fil-A sandwiches be going hard though.
They do. They be coming in clutch. I just be wanting the fries though, because I can't eat the sandwich without the fries. I be wishing they had the fries.
Y'all know Chick-fil-A will give out free, depending on the Chick-fil-A, they'll give out free sandwiches, man. So it's almost like we just making profit. Yeah, they'll give out, on my base, I think 2 years ago, they was just pulling up giving out free sandwiches because they got partnerships with commands and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
And it was Chick-fil-A. So imagine doing a Chick-fil-A sale as a Chiefs mess, and then the next day Chick-fil-A come through and give out free sandwiches.
Guess I'm eating Chick-fil-A 2 days in a row.
Yeah, you telling me. Hey, so this is a question I got for y'all. It might be a decorum question, a question about etiquette, stuff like that. But I notice a lot of times when people congratulate the people that made it and got selected and shit like that. Not to minimize it and shit like hopefully and shit like that doesn't minimize what I'm saying. but when people congratulate the people that got selected, at the tail end of the congratulations, they have to, like, it seems like a lot of times people add that conversation to the people that didn't get selected, right? So it's like, hey, congrats to all who got selected. Then it's like a paragraph about the people that didn't get selected. Well, for y'all who didn't get selected, boom, 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 boom. Me personally, I don't connect the two conversations. I'm congratulating the people that got accepted, and then I'm having conversations with people that didn't get accepted. I think those are two different conversations. I think they should happen at two different times. That's my thought, right? And I know some people would disagree and stuff like that. What's y'all thought about it, though?
Hey, Bromo, I was just, not even like you asking this question, I was thinking about this as I was walking on the ship this morning, man. And let me tell you, like, you're right. For me, it's the same way. They don't go together at all. And then on top of that, I have to do it individually too, though, because different people have different personalities. They talk different. They do things different. They think different. So you can't even treat them all the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest reasons for me why I think I would do it, you know, not put it together and do it individually too, man. So I do agree, just because people have different ways of how they handle stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with the person that didn't get selected. If it's a large group of people, like, hey, you know, I'm sorry that you didn't get selected, you know, in the conversation or whatever. But I mean, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more than just, yeah, that sucks. Sorry that it didn't happen this year. Maybe it will. Maybe next year. You know, I guess as a chief, right, there needs to be that connection of, you know, the understanding that you do still care about the person that didn't, you know, get selected, because a lot of our time is taken up, you know, with season. And I guess when I was a first class, I felt like my chiefs were just, you know, kind of leaving us, you know, high and dry to go do, you know, chief select things, you know, not really understanding the process. But I mean, on the flip side, that I'm sure there's first classes out there that see the same thing. Like, well, damn, I didn't get selected, and now they're over there, you know, doing all these chief select things, and they forgot about me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be a sad life.
Right. Until you see their ass walking in tired and drained, and then you like, nope.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of envy, but then at the same time, you like,
Yeah, I
Shit,
like,
ain't nobody tired and drained no more, Tish.
Yeah, nah.
They not tired and drained. When I went through, I saw people tired.
Yeah, I'm on the same like y'all though, that one-on-one. And honestly, it's more like me. I'm not really good with the, like, me personally, or I'm just speaking personal. I'm not great with the, like, yo, you didn't make it. Let me talk to you about that. Like, let's sit here and talk about the sorrow of not making it. But I am good with the, all right, what we need to do, right? And I think I said that a million times, like, yo, all right, let's look at what we need to do. Let's figure this out, and let me support you however it is. Like my man who I was talking about earlier, he ain't make it. He was moping and he was all tight about it. Man, we had an action plan. I think that next day, I'm like, all right, look, or maybe the day after, because everybody, you know, I think he needed that day, right? Like,
I was like to say, I like to give the day. You got to give that day.
Yeah, so you give me the day. Like, you know, so I think he needed that day. But then the next day or whatever that was, man, we came up with like some thoughts and like the way he should approach the year and thoughts like that. Man, and he got all that stuff done. And, you know, it is what it is. But that's how I would do it, because my emotional maturity, I don't know what to call it, but I'm not equipped for those, like, just like speaking to you about failing an exam conversations. Like, I don't have that much to say. I never did. That's just not who I am personally. Like, all right, let's figure out what we need to do. Let's get it done. I'm gonna be your number one fan, your number one supporter. What about you, Tisha?
It seems like that kind of became like a blanket thing. Maybe it was before, I don't know, but I just notice it more like on social media. People have like that blanket, oh, congratulations to everybody who made it. If you didn't make it, you know, this next year can be your year. Keep pushing. Da, 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 da. It's like always the blanket on social media. But yeah, I don't I think just just congratulate people. Because I don't want to hear about who didn't make it in my congratulations, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, can I just have my moment? Like, I'm high on cloud 9, and then I gotta, like, damn, because you already feel some type of way anyway, especially if it was somebody, that you're close with, and you were hoping that y'all make it together, go through season together, and then you don't, or you're hoping that you went through season with the other person, who did make it, you ain't make it, you know what I'm saying? And I think, it's just two separate things, but I think it just became a thing, like the whole, copycats, of social media. People started doing it, and it just like became a thing. Because I don't know if I remember people doing that in real life and real conversations before that.
That's crazy. That I never thought about it kind of like that. When I made chief, I had just got to the command probably like 4 or 5 months, and it was a carrier at the time. So ain't nobody, they didn't really know me like that. So when I made it, I wasn't really thinking about like my fellow, DC ones didn't make it. Oh man, because we really didn't know each other that well. I had just got there. But if you made it and you had a command about 2 years, you got some real homies there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you think you guys gonna come up together, you're gonna make it. Those some hard situations, man.
They are.
Hard situations.
I've seen situations where it was like 2 people were like peas in the pod, neck and neck, number 1, number 2, one make it, one don't. And it's like, dang, everybody's kind of disappointed.
Yeah. I saw that last year on my shit, man. These 2 dudes was, and they every day they was like, hey, yeah, the results. And my one of the dudes, the way they kind of delivered it on the carrier, like CMC, they walk around and all that. And he was like, yo, I need to go ask him. Like, if I was like, yo, you should hold off for that. like hold off, because I'm telling you might. And come to find out, this man didn't make it. I'm like, I told you ain't want to. But what Cody said is kind of like, when I think about what Cody was saying about like being that, like, imagine that, like you that first class that didn't make it, but you in the same like shop as the first class that did, and then like y'all chief walk in like all hyped and excited about the person that made it.
Yeah,
fucking come in, like you just sitting there, I can't. Hey, now Teach brought something up that I want to get into before we get out of here. And I don't know if I want to vent. But I'm definitely, we about to get out of here. I don't know if I want to vent about it or just kind of bring it up. But something happened question 1. Do y'all look at the Chiefs Facebook group or any Facebook group as the Chiefs mess?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right, cool. So something happened on the Chiefs Facebook group, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But somebody was last minute looking for like a chief to like give somebody a tour around like the base or on the ship. It was like last week or something like that. And I guess like nobody like responded to the thing on Facebook group. So the dude got mad, right? He got pissed. Like, oh man, like, hey, to the dude, no disrespect, because the conversation ain't about to be about you. The dude got mad, and like he got in there and he pretty much was like, oh man, Chiefs mess ain't like it used to be, boo, boo, boo. I asked for help and couldn't nobody help me. So then people start getting at him. I want to say this, right? And it's my opinion. I wanted to write this, but I didn't want to be another person on the wagon, because he had, like, a lot of people was getting at him. I want y'all to know the Chiefs, not every chief is on Facebook. Not every chief is looking at them groups. I don't always look at the chat like that we have as a mess. Like, if it's important, you need to talk to me directly. But I want y'all to know, like, as far as that the Chiefs mess Facebook group, a group chat and all that shit is not the Chiefs mess. Chiefs mess is big. It's all of us. It's expansive and all that shit. But it's not no Facebook page, and we got to stop acting like that, man.
Yeah.
You can't find your Chiefs mess on QWERTY or whatever.
Yeah, oftentimes those groups are made by like retired chiefs. Like, it's not even an active duty chief that's the admin running the Facebook page. It's just some shit that we join for networking or whatever the case may be. But like, one of them, the guy retired in like 1996. Like, my man, I was 2 years old at that time. Like, you're still adding to the Navy at this point. Like, you're so far removed from it. How are you adding value and guidance to the younger chiefs if you ain't been in a uniform in 27 years.
Most of the time, they're not. They're just on there complaining.
Yeah, unless, because you're not, unless you jumping in on a season and you like, imparting some wisdom from the in the season into a charge book or something like that. A lot of that Facebook stuff gets very convoluted on like what people thought was the way things were supposed to go. Like you said earlier, nostalgia, Tish. Nostalgia. Yeah, like they could use it to me during the season. Like, come teach some of them, come be a part of some of them lessons that Selects learn. Because let's keep the mess. Because I know some retired chiefs, they got once a chief, always a chief and all. Let's keep the mess. But sometimes that Facebook stuff get real nasty.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right?
Facts, man.
Wait, that's it, man. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing. I don't have anything else. I gave it my all, man.
I left it on the line, man. I left it on the line today, man.
I never have the little sound bites ready.
Before
man.
y'all skip, one more thing. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
You gave it everything, man.
Yeah, hey, Cody, man. Again, like I said, hey, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hey, Cody, hey, I was here just for a little while, though, man. But, hey, you represent well for a damage control, man. I have to look you up, man. You know what I mean? You can come. We could work together, man. I like your energy. We could work together
he
well.
He need people, too, Cody. I think he need people. That's just me talking.
I heard your podcast where you only got like, 6 or 7 damage control, man. I feel like this is a trap.
Well, I tell you, Cody, that's not really my whole issue right now on this shit, man. I got a whole lot of other shit. We might have to talk offline. I got a whole lot of other shit going on this thing.
I'll be a part too.
I assessed an impact carrier last week, and I don't want no part of that shit. Them tack cards, and then I don't want no part of that. Nothing.
Hey, Cody, I'm here to tell you, man, I'm walking around this thing, don't know what the hell. They be hitting with them tack cards, man. I be like, what is this shit? It's way different than surface, man. But hey, I am learning every day, man. And I'm here to tell you that it is rough, man. A lot of times, man, I stay a lot at work, man. I'm because we don't like to fail at nothing, man. We don't like to see that we don't like really understand it. But let me here to tell you. World, I do not understand these damn tack cards, man. I'm telling you, this shit is crazy to me, man. It's wild. And then I can get up there and let me tell you, when we talk damage control, we talk surface, I'm talking about damage control. And then I end up 5 minutes later, somebody come tell me, hey, man, we don't do that shit on air. And I'm like, God damn, I done talked for fucking 30 minutes and we don't do this shit.
That was me.
It's crazy,
that was me,
man.
bro. Like, yo, let me get all the ASA check sheets. I'm going to walk through. They like ASA check sheet. And like the carriers have never heard of some of this shit ever. Like,
yeah,
what?
Man.
What are
For
you
real.
talking about? And I'm like, these things to do this. Oh, they like, oh, you talking about tax? And then somebody literally told me like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you, senior. That inspection is not going to matter. As long as we can get the aircraft in the air, they not going. They going to pass us. I said, oh, that's fucking crazy.
That's crazy, man. What they say, lunch and recover. Lunch and recover. That's it.
All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, holla at your people, man. Mississippi. Hey, represent 68, man. Hey, 3M hat. Holla at your boys, man. I like it, man. Mississippi.